everybody, my name is Rahish. Today's lesson is on the verb have to or have got to. Both are having the same meaning. It can be used as a modal verb as well as a main verb to say that something is required or necessary. Somewhat it is equal to must. For example, do we have to take our shoes off? Or you can say in this way also. Have we got to take our shoes off? You don't have to knock. Just walk in. You have to stop at the red light. I haven't got to leave till 10. Have you got to go? I didn't want to do it, but I had to. Does he have to do exam this year? Yes, he has got to. Have got to can only be used in the present, and have to can be used in a variety of forms. For example, I've got to study for the exam, but don't say I got to study for the exam, and don't say I will have got to study for the exam. You can say in this way, I have to study for the exam, or in past tense, I had to study for the exam, and future tense, I will have to study for the exam. Have got to is used to refer to obligations which come from outside the speaker. For example, you've got to drive more slowly. We are in a 40-mile-an-hour zone. I've got to pay extra rent now because my friend has left the apartment. Emma's got to be at the doctor's by 3 o'clock. I have to pick up my son at school at 4 o'clock. Have to or have got to can be used to say that something is required by a law or rule. For example, all passengers have to exit at the next stop. Soldiers have to obey orders. All passengers have to wear seat belts. You have got to follow the rules. Have to or have got to can be used to give advice or recommend something. For example, you have to read this book. It's fantastic. You've got to try this recipe. It's delicious. We have to get together soon for lunch. You really have to see the doctor about this cough. You have got to come visit us soon. You simply have to get a new job. Have to or have got to can be used to say that something is very likely or must be true. For example, it has to be close to noon. She has to be the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. He has to have a lot of money to live the way he does. This war has got to end soon. There has got to be some mistake. There has to be a reason for his strange behavior. Have to or have got to can be used in various spoken phrases to emphasize a statement. For example, she's a talented actress. You have to admit. She was very polite. I have to confess. I have to admit. The idea of marriage scares me. I have to say I was deeply disappointed. I have to warn you. This will not be easy. I have got to say I was surprised to hear from him. Have to or have got to can be used in questions or statements that express annoyance or anger. Do you have to be so unreasonable? Do you always have to be so suspicious? Do you have to spoil everything? Of course, it had to start raining as soon as we got to the beach. That's it. Take care and have a nice time.